with you. Big thanks to Nathan Gully Williams, our guest in part 1. We could have chatted to him for ages. Actually, it was brilliant to catch up with him and hear about some of the stories about the players he played with, and in that really, really great Scarlet side as well. But let's stick with rugby, but talk about the international game, because of course on Thursday it's the opening night of the 2026 Six Nations. It will begin in Paris. We've done some statistics on this. First time in Six Nations history the tournament starts on a Thursday. Last time we had a Thursday game for the start of the tournament was in the Five Nations in 1948. Gord, as a traditionalist, how are you feeling about this Thursday night rugby?
I don't remember that game in 1948.
I thought you covered it for the Milford Mercury, didn't you?
That's a great start. I like these games at the weekends. They've moved them around a lot. France have experimented on Friday night as well, haven't they? Saturday and Sunday has been quite normal as well, but back in the day it was all played on Saturdays. But we've got to move with the times, I suppose, and the Irish will be delighted. It's a very long weekend in Paris. Not just for the rugby, I might add, Ben.
They've had a bank holiday today in Ireland as well, so some serious prep going in. Fraser, I'm all for the Friday night games, actually. I think they're a great way to start the Six Nations weekend, really popular. When I first saw the Thursday thing, I thought I'd misread it, to be honest with you, because it just seemed quite a peculiar way to start this year's tournament. What was your view?
Doesn't quite have the same ring about it, obviously, as always with these things, underpinned by background reasons, including financial ones and advertising and so on. But no, I don't like it, Ben, to be honest. I like it to be a little more enclosed. Certainly, like you, I don't Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if it's done within that window, or Friday and 2 games on the Saturday, I prefer. I think once you start bringing the midweek element to it, I think that's undercooking it a little bit. And it's also, I got no doubt the Irish will be travelling in droves, so it's the wrong away fans to talk about, but it certainly does make it more difficult for travelling supporters as well. So, I'm not a huge fan of it, but we'll see how Thursday night pans out, I suppose.
Yeah, 8:10, then the tournament will start for 2026 in the Stade de France. And is it fair to say this could almost be the tournament decider on the opening night?
No.
Gordon?
No.
Fraser? Tom?
No, far from it.
I think England will be right in the mix. I don't think this Ireland team is certainly perhaps half as good as people think of it. It's certainly not half as strong as it was a couple of years ago. I don't think they have really started showing signs of a positive rebuild since the World Cup. I think that was a very aging side that went out in that World Cup. They came to the end of their almost golden era, or strong era, if you like. And I don't think as yet they found the players with the same credentials to come through. There are, we got people like the number 10, Prendergast, they're showing promise, but I don't think this is anything like the Ireland side of 2 years ago, for sure. I backed France to win with room to spare, actually, in Paris. And I think the championship will come down to France and England. France and England in Paris, I think, is more likely to be a decider than Thursday night.
It's interesting, isn't it, Gord, just on that topic of Ireland, have they underachieved? It does feel Andy Farrell maybe at something of a crossroads in terms of how his tenure as Ireland coach will be viewed. He'll be going down a slightly different path with some new players establishing themselves, but I think there's a bit on the line for him going into this Six Nations.
Yeah, well, we've gone through it at Wales, haven't we, with Gatland, with the sides that he produced over the years. I mean, the quality of players that Ireland have had over the last decade, I would say, to be fair, and a little bit closer. They've been a phenomenal side, to be fair. I mean, beating the All Blacks on a regular basis at one time. That was amazing sort of period. But yes, they've a lot of the old boys are starting to get a little yard slower. Some have retired as well, and it happens to all international sides. They have to start bringing in players to do the job, and some of them won't be as good as what was before. It's just the nature of the beast, isn't it? Let's be honest. But he's still a good coach. That Ireland are a threat against any side, but I do believe France are the side to beat this season. They got so much flair, so much strength. They're going to take some beating. England are the only side I can see, as Fraser said, of competing with them up front, and they have got a very good back line as well. Wales, Scotland. Scotland are a very good side. They're possibly not as strong as what they were a couple of years ago either, but they're still a very good side. And then Italy, they got an immense pack. And, if you can control things up front, it makes it very difficult for any side to get their hands on the ball. They got a very good place kicker as well. They fly half. He puts the ball between the sticks. Points on the board that counts. It's going to be an interesting Six Nations, and I haven't even mentioned Wales. I'm hoping there is a bit of light. I think we've got 3 home games against all the sides that play in blue. I'm hoping that we can get at least 1 W. That would be great.
Okay, let's go to Saturday then, because the tournament starts Thursday, nothing on Friday, and then Super Saturday, really, and a 20-5 kickoff at Twickenham, England, Wales. Steve Tandy, I think, is still saying this is a tournament to build towards 2027. Fraser, it looks like Jack Morgan will probably not play much of a part in the tournament. What do you make of Tandy's Wales? And it's a tough opener, that, isn't it, going to Twickenham on match day 1?
I will say this. I maintain that Steve Tandy was the right appointment at a very difficult time for Welsh rugby. And all the noises you're hearing from within the camp, it's a much more settled and happier camp, certainly one than it was in Warren Gatland's second reign, where we saw quite fallout and off-field turmoil that maybe wasn't handled very well there. So I will say that. But I think he's got another harrowing prospect on his hands in the Six Nations. And my concern about this Wales team, and I think it is right that it has to build towards 2027, but you do need positive displays while you're building. You do need signs of encouragement. Now, this isn't a Welsh that hasn't just scarcely won in the last couple of years, Ben. It's scarcely competed, right? You look at the margins of defeat last year, that they were huge, even in Italy. I was actually out in Rome, completely lopsided scoreline by Wales scoring, I think, 2 late tries. They were second best by some margin in that game. The only games where you look that we've really competed in the last couple of years was twice away in Japan, won one and lost one, and then the Japan game at home where we won at the death. But against the sides we're about to come up against, we didn't have a competitive fixture last year. I worry gravely about the England result on Saturday. I think England have got a lot more depth now and are building a lot more nicely than people are giving them credit for. You look at the England bench named today, right? And then we talk about this argument whether Wales have the quality to sustain 4 competitive regions. Look at the Wales bench. Look at the England bench. Maro Itoje on the bench, the Lions captain. Luke Cowan-Dickey, a Lions hooker. You got Marcus Smith, mercurial at his best. Again, another British Lion. There were a couple of other names. Henry Pollock, the rising star of world rugby at the moment. There was one more as well. Tom Curry, again, another Lion. You've got 5 players there.
It's interesting to say, Fraser, that they're resting some of their better players against Wales, which isn't great.
Which is an equally damning point if true. Yeah. But the very simple fact, they've got those players to come on, and if Gordon is right, have the confidence to rest those players with the boys.
They obviously have.
The boys that are coming in. It's frightening. It's frightening, and it really does underline the lack of player depth we have in Wales compared to the other nations, which is sadly one of the reasons we have to cut to 3. I don't agree with how it's been done, but we have to.
I tell you one thing that will go in their favour is Tandy's dressing room talk. What you're just naming as British Lions on the bench, them to have the audacity to do that. I tell you what, that changing room is going to be revving when they come out. Whether they can, that reverse psychology can work, but Tandy will definitely use that, what you just said there.
I tell you what, Fraser's getting me closer.
Buzzing going out to Twickenham.
Fraser's getting me closer to tipping England.
On their chest will be ripped off.
Knocked off you, right?
Fraser's getting me close to tipping England to win the thing. Actually, Gordon, on the back of that,
I'd be fair. He didn't say those words.
Well, I will. I'll say it now. We have all vowed to give it a prediction at the end of this. I will say it now. I think England will win the Six Nations. I think it's a team ready to take that next step now, and the next step would be winning in Paris. And of course, France have the Antoine Dupont factor back, and he's fully fit. A massive factor for them. But I think England will win the Six Nations, and I think Wales will get the wooden spoon.
Well, okay, Fraser's gone there straight away. So Fraser's going an England win and Wales wooden spoon. I'll come to you last, I think, Gordon. Let's give Tom a best. let's give Tom a shout first. Tom's got a very good record, actually, when it comes to the Six Nations historically on this show.
I do. I feel the pressure. And
yeah.
I think I've had brother-in-law in my ear for too long, actually. He's definitely a red rose. And he's been telling me about their last kind of 18 months and how they formed in that depth that Fraser mentioned. And I do think that they can be adaptable enough to every team that they're going to come up against because of that depth. And I do think that England are going to get it this year.
And wooden spoon, Tom?
Oh, Italy. Please.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big game in Cardiff, isn't it? Wales against Italy. And Gordon, you've been there the last few years for that fixture, haven't you?
In this time, mate.
I was going to say, you haven't bought any luck for Wales, have you?
No, not at all. and on each occasion, I must say, they were well beaten. Italy thoroughly deserved their victory in Cardiff. Yeah.
I think the question is, I'm going to say England to win the tournament as well. I think there's a big night coming in Paris, which might just tip the balance England's way.
That's my only thing where I can see that they could slip up. Not saying they will slip up, but in Paris is a very difficult place to go. They will be in confident mood, maybe a little bit too arrogant like they can get, which I like to see. And then France will put them into their place.
So I don't think there'll be a Grand Slam, though. I think...
Yeah, you could be right there, Tom.
I think
there's a few sides capable of beating each other, yeah. It's going to be an interesting tournament, isn't it? I'm looking forward to it.
So a France tournament win for you, Gord.
Well, I can't say that word. I don't know that nation.
I'll say it for you. Then.
So I think they're a good side, but I'm hoping France will win the Six Nations.
Who's going to come last?
I can't say that either. I'll go with Italy with Tom.
Yeah, I think it's that game in Cardiff is going to be crucial for Wales, isn't it? And I think realistically, they probably are playing for fifth spot, just given where they are in the cycle with Steve Tandy
I wouldn't say that. I think Scotland could come into that equation as well.
I think Scotland are quite strong.
I think Wales are playing the three blue sides at home.
I'm going to say, if you want a story that could emerge in this Six Nations, could be that Scotland are as strong as they've been in recent years. So that could be the one to watch, I think.
I think there's big tournaments for Scotland and for Italy now. Gregor Townsend, it seems like forever and a day, we're talking about a Scotland team that's made progress without ever taking that next big step, without winning the big games. We saw it last year. I think Finn Russell, late kick, missed to lose it to Twickenham. So many near misses against the sides ranked above them. This has got to be the tournament now where they come through.
And Scotland come to Wales, and we got a certain coach who was there for a little while.
That's true.
We'll know their ins and outs and what they do.
No, it's true. But Scotland, have threatened to challenge for this tournament for so long without ever doing it. Italy have built brilliantly. Years of harrowing results at the top level, to the point where we were questioning their place in the Six Nations.
We did.
Throughout it all, they were building under 19s, under 21s. They were building the word which Gordon rightfully uses so often. They were building a pathway, and it's come to fruition now. Tommaso Allen in the back line there. Gordon's right, a real pack that can maul you about the place. But now's the time for Italy to come away from almost being a lower tier nation in this tournament, and can they challenge the top sides as well? So it's big tournaments for Scotland and Italy. There's less pressure on Wales, but I don't think that'll yield more positive results. I'm sorry. And we're talking about these three home games. I'm sorry, I don't think we see the Principality Stadium, which will stay that till 2030. We've learned today, naming rights. It's not that fortress anymore. It's not that cauldron of noise. It's not 72,500 singing Welshmen.
Results do that, though, don't they? Bad results do that.
Yeah, you're right. Right, so much else, so much Malaysian Welsh rugby at the moment. A lot contributes towards it, but it's not the fortress that people make out. I think people are overplaying this three home game thing, to be honest.
I tell you what, there's family fortunes going on in Tom Dyer's household. His brother-in-law is commenting here. All sorts going on. I'll give you. Let's have two final hot takes. I think I'm struggling with Wales to see how they don't finish last, unfortunately. And I got such a soft spot for the Welsh side, and I'd love to be able to say I think they might finish above Italy.
No room for sentiment. I understand that, Ben.
No.
And the reason I can't is because you just look at the form going into it.
No Jack Morgan. Get better. I think.
And so what I would say is I think we will see some progress under Steve Tandy, and I think it might not be a miserable Six Nations necessarily for Wales, but I think it's going to be very difficult because of how the other teams are going. And how about Ireland to have a really bad start to the tournament and not recover and finish outside the top 3. And any takers?
Yeah, distinct possibility. You know, you're looking at an Irish team,
England,
like I said,
France, Ireland,
big performers coming to the end of the road. Bundy Aki banned for the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's
going
good.
to France. I fancy him to lose both France and England. Yeah, that's a possibility as well. This isn't the Ireland team of years gone by, that's for sure. But I did also, Ben, I did sign off my live online coverage of, on a more positive note, Osprey Dragons have said that we're now going to go back to off-field turmoil in Welsh rugby. The debate's going to go on over 3 or 4 regions, but it's nothing a 2026 Six Nations Grand Slam can't solve.
Exactly. And I tell you what, there's nothing like talking about the Six Nations on this show. It doesn't have to get the comments ticking and the conversation going. So I'm looking forward to the tournament. Starts, don't forget, ridiculously on Thursday night in Paris, but hopefully Thursday night rugby won't be a thing in the future. And then an exciting weekend to come. We're going to have to take a moment and we'll come back for the very last part. Go on, Fraser. Do you want to just...
No, I'm going to read out one comment here, which
word?
is relevant. Coming from Abigail HD. Mark says Wales should drop to 2 regions and 1 development region. It's another viable argument that is being put about as well, that we should, instead of tinkering with change, we should just be going 2.
Well, Alan Wynne Jones has made the point that that's what the WRU wanted. The plan A was always going to go to 2.
And should rebrand it East and West.
And West, yeah.
Yeah, good shouts. Listen, we'll come back for the final part and we'll just wrap up some of the other weekend stories from across the county. A bit of football played. We heard from a very happy Kilgetty manager in the first hour. So we'll just do that for the final part of Pure West Sports in just a few moments.
Pure West Sports Show, sponsored by Eaton-Evans.